So since it is it is 6:01, so I think I'll get started. So welcome everyone to the Summer Company Program Info Session, which is being delivered in collaboration with the Brampton Entrepreneur Center. My name is Susan Lovelace, and I am the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Consultant and the Summer Company Program Coordinator at the Mississauga Business Entrepreneur Center, commonly referred to as MBAC. This info session is a recommended first step in learning about the program and the eligibility criteria and requirements to apply for the program in Mississauga or in the Brampton area. Both the Mississauga Business Entrepreneur Center and the Brampton Entrepreneur Center are hosting these info sessions until April. Your attendance today or at any of the scheduled info sessions does not guarantee your eligibility to apply to the program, nor does it guarantee your participation in the program. The webinars will be recorded and posted to our websites. The session will be 1 to 1.5 hours in length, which will include a panel discussion with some of our former Summer Company participants and a question and answer period at the end of the session. So before I begin, just a few housekeeping items. You are all muted, so please use the chat function if you have any questions, which we will answer at the end of the session or possibly during the session. So let us begin. So here is the agenda for today's session. First of all, we're going to talk about why we're here, and we're going to talk about market research, and we have Craig here from the Central Library to review the free resources available to you. And he spent some time to find some business plans and some research for summer company businesses. I also will be providing you with an overview of the summer company program, the benefits of the program, as well as the program requirements. Next, I'm going to provide you with information about the criteria for you to be eligible to apply and participate. I'm then going to provide you with information on the application process, and next will be information on the required training and mentorship. I'm going to wrap up the session with information on completing the program. We'll have a panel discussion, as mentioned, with our summer company participants, and at that time you will also have an opportunity to ask them questions as well. Then next steps, and then finally another question and answer period at the end if there's anything that I've missed. And as I said earlier, please feel free to put any questions you may have in the chat box. I have Mona here from MBEC to help us. So she will be the one manning the chat. She might be putting some messages in there as well. So let's get started. So why are you here today? Good question. Firstly, you're here because you're interested in receiving training, mentorship, and a grant to start a new summer business in Mississauga or in the Brampton area. Secondly, you want to learn about how the summer company program can help you with your business. Lastly, you want to learn how you can apply to the program. But before we get started with all that excitement, I would like to introduce you to Craig Rowland. He's here from the Central Library, but actually working out of the South Common Library since the Central Library is under a 2-year or so renovation. He is here to provide some insight into the resources that are available to you to help you with market research. So, Craig, I am going to stop sharing my screen so you can share your screen.
And I can share my screen.
Take it away.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can everyone see the screen with the young boy in glasses and a blue mask?
Yep.
Okay, so that's the Mississauga Library Systems webpage. Now, what I'm going to show you is accessible to Mississauga Library card holders. So if you have an address in Mississauga, if you go to school in Mississauga, or work in Mississauga, or own property in the city of Mississauga, you are entitled to get a library card. And you can show your identification of work, school, residence, or property ownership to any library staff member in Mississauga. I know Sue mentioned Brampton as well, but these resources I'm showing you are exclusive to the Mississauga Library Systems website. Our website is easy to remember, mississaugalibrary.ca. And everything that I'm going to show you that is accessible with your library card is on this homepage on this tab, Research and Learn. So if we look under Research and Learn, we'll be looking under the categories Business and Careers and also Reference. Now, if you're looking to establish a business, and if you're looking to find out how to make a business plan, there are resources in the library system that are easy to find. Just enter the term business plan in the search field right here and search the catalog, and there are how many? Just many pages of business plan handbooks. You can sign these out if you find a book is available but nowhere near where your library is located. Put a hold on it, we'll send it over. Brampton Library System, of course, has business plans handbooks as well. But if you don't want to even consult a book, I can show you briefly a multi-volume set of business plans that are accessible from this Research and Learn tab. Click on it, go down to the bottom under Reference, and click here under Gale eBooks. You'll learn through this program, if you're not acquainted already, but if you're establishing a business, it's wise to have a business plan. Organize your thoughts. What's your business going to do? If you're in search of funds or all-important grants, people are going to want to see a business plan. They want to know what they're investing in. Have your business plan and organized telling what you're going to be selling or doing, what the money that you're asking for is going for. So if you look at the Business Plans Handbook and you can click on it, we have now already 53 volumes and 2 already that were published this year. This is the latest one, volume 53. And for youth entrepreneurs, young people, what might they be doing? There are some examples in here in the latest volume. You can see by the clicking, I've already looked at some of them, which I thought were quite humorous, but still valuable business entrepreneurial ideas. Chicken coop business, crematorium, and how about Etsy shop? So if I click on that, for those crafters, Etsy shop, you're making fabrics, you're doing some beadwork, jewelry, you make your own things. How are you going to be selling it? This is an idea, a business plan for an Etsy shop, and it will structure the business plan for you. They'll talk about the market analysis. I'll go into that right after I talk about the business plans handbook and products you'll need. And they get very specific. What's your money going for? Well, all these things. And there's a breakdown of what the money will be for later on in every business plan in this book. The marketing and sales, financial analysis, and here's a nice financial breakdown. So of your materials, your budget's going for this much, and marketing and advertising, and financial snapshot of gross revenue and forecast for the next 2 years. That's just one example. This is all what you saw on the chart, but in bigger text. What your money is for, expenses are for over the next couple of years. So that's an example of the business plans handbook. If I look at chicken coop business, which I did before, you can tell by my clicking, it was a much better profile because it's longer and does break down things into really precise detail. So if you're keeping chickens, just what are you going to be doing with them? Here, product and services, what you'll be needing. Coops, chicken strollers, I had a laugh with that one. Egg baskets, fake eggs, all these things are needed. You may never think what you might need until you make a long list of them and you realize, oh, I need lots more than I thought I did. Growth strategy, sales and marketing. So if you go back to the business plans handbook up here, just enter your idea. Web design, floral business, dog salon, nail salon, any kind of business idea. With 53 volumes published, a couple each year, you might very well find it up-to-date business plan for your idea. Now, if I go back to our Mississauga Library business website, here it is. I'm going to now spend a little bit of time with the business databases that are on a national scale. 2 national scale business databases called Canadian Businesses Online and Scott's Canadian Business Directory. these are accessible with a library card only. So if everyone goes to the website again, click on Research and Learn, and because these are business databases, it makes it obvious that you'll be clicking on Business and Careers. Click on that. And in my opinion, the better of the two national scale businesses for entrepreneurs, for anyone establishing a business, young or old, anyone who wants to learn about small businesses and how much they're making, what they're doing when they were established, go to this one first, Canadian Businesses. Now, because I have a staff login when I log into my work computer, I don't need to enter my library card. But after I click on this, you will see a login screen for your own card and your PIN, which corresponds to the last four numbers of your phone number. You'll get that pop-up screen first. Enter your 14-digit card number, then your 4-digit PIN, and you'll get to this screen. So we have here Canadian businesses with a rounded up figure of 2.2 million of them in the database. I am entering the database now, and it always defaults to this quick search screen. Quick search. I don't spend much time with this because it only is valuable for you if you know the company name or an executive or a phone number. Let's look at advanced search. That offers far more information than what the quick search does. Far more search criteria. So here it is, and look at the number now. 2,155,961 companies. These are companies that are active companies, registered with Service Ontario, incorporated federally, incorporated provincially, all over the country, and also non-incorporated businesses. Of these 2.1 million companies, about 55% of them have employees between 1 and 4. Therefore, the majority, slight majority, are the small businesses. This database profiles them in detail. So when I do my job hunting or job search skills for people and they can't find any information on the company that they're looking for, that they're interviewing for, this is the database I tell them to look for. You might find an employee size of 1 or 2. I can even show you some. These are small companies, businesses that have been around for a little while and businesses that are just registered this year. They are in this database. So look at the search criteria. You can search by company name, executive name, but the big ones are keyword, what the business does. Search by geography. So census metro area, that would be the Greater Toronto Area in this case, or you can narrow it down by a city or individual cities. Street address, postal code, and business size and sales volume. Now, if I just pick an example of some tried and true example that I like to use, because I know it generates lots of hits, I just will enter florist. And I have found florists, retail, and florists, suppliers, wholesale suppliers, manufacturers of supplies for florists, wholesalers for florists, and so on. And this database will provide you with exact matches first, as it says at the top, exact matches, and then near matches. It has the degree of intuition to provide you with flower and things related to flowers, even though I didn't type in flowers. So if you have a business idea, I always say enter few terms first. I always see when customers would come in and they type their very specific business and they would get no hits, and they say, I know there are businesses that are in this that are in this line of business. How come I can't find any? You might be using terms that are not recognized by the database, or maybe you're just supplying too much information and the algorithm can't sort them into something. It just gives you no matches. But so enter a few terms first, and then you can always drill down to get more specific. Please don't be too concerned about getting too specific right at the top. So if I look for retail establishments that are florists in Canada, I will see update the count, 6,075 of them. I want to narrow it down specifically to Mississauga, so I'll now click on city. City has been added below, so I'll scroll down to select Ontario and Mississauga and find out how many retail establishments are in Mississauga, 126, and view the results. And so here they all are listed alphabetically, and you can see the profiles of the companies by clicking on the blue company name. So if I pick something like Charisma Florists Limited, and I'll wait for it to pop up on the screen. And so you get the address, website, profile when they were established, retail establishment florists. They also provide gift baskets and parcels, novelty souvenir stores, and 10 employees, annual sales. They are a single location, so not a franchise like, say, Tim Hortons with hundreds of locations. Credit rating, excellent. The ratings are good, very good, and excellent. And management directory, we just have a single name here. Not bad for 10 employees. The owner's name is provided, Ron Matsuko. And the expenditures. Now for entrepreneurs, the next three things I say are really important. The expenditures. If you're looking at a company that employs 10 people, making under $1 million a year, what are they spending on? They're spending on this amount on accounting, legal services, rent and leasing, and so on and so on. You can see if you're going to be making this much money, what you're going to be spending on, and they self-report. The companies get annual surveys and they will click boxes in the survey. They do not fill out the exact amount they spend on each thing here. So they will fill out a range. Accounting, oh, I spend $1,000 to $2,500, and so on. So this is the range that they self-report when they get their annual survey. Keep that in mind when you're starting a business, what you may be in for in your business expenditures. The next two categories I'll touch on are the hidden ones, nearby businesses, and competitors. If you're establishing any kind of business, it's important to look at these two categories, which this database always hides. You have to expand them. So if I expand nearby businesses, you'll see if your business has a walk-in clientele. That's the most important thing. If you are a carpet cleaning business, you're going out to customers. You will have customers, I'm sure, that come in. Okay, yes, you will. But you're practically going out all the time. People will call you, email you, say, I need you to come over and clean my carpets. They're not bringing the carpets to you necessarily, unless they're like portable rugs. But you're doing shampoo jobs with big washers and cleaners and going throughout people's homes or businesses. But in this case, with this florist, people certainly call, arrange for floral delivery, but they also go in and walk out with the flowers themselves. And for a walk-in clientele, you'd like to know who your nearby businesses are, who's already coming in the area. If it's a strip mall that you're thinking of establishing your business in, or is it a corner in the middle of a major intersection where you might find gas stations and coffee shops. Here we have pastry shop, a computer place, Canada Computers, I know where that is. There's diaper service. Okay, so think about the youth or the infant market here. People are going to be selling stuff for babies. A ramen restaurant, auto supplies, pharmacy. So you know people are coming in for these other businesses as well. The second category I'll open up is competitors. You're a florist, you have an idea of setting up, but these are nearby florists. Notice there's nothing in Oakville here or Etobicoke. These are all florists in the area in Mississauga. Keep in mind, if you are establishing a business and it's in, let's say, Clarkson or Meadowvale, you might see some overlap with nearby businesses that are in Oakville or Milton. But this is all a central florist area. I picked one that's at Burnhamthorpe and Mavis in Mississauga. So you'll get central Mississauga located florists here. And if I click on one called Simply Flowers and Things, I can see how much they're making, how many people they're employing, when were they established, how much are they spending on their expenditures. Here, this company has 2 employees making $162,000. Their credit rating is not as high. Ken Joy is the owner. Their expenditures, I can tell, are already quite low, like 3 figures for some things here. And you can tell then that this company is right at Dundas in here, Ontario, with an address like this, and they are making little bit of money. So maybe you could look at it. Are there too many florists in the area? Maybe this guy isn't doing too good in advertising. If he's not making that much money, and he's in a major traffic area. Are there really are there too many florists around? Or And you can see that by looking at the competitors and map them out. This has a mapping feature, photo map and directions. So you can map out all the florists in the area and see this one here is making 500,000. This one here is making 2 million and has been around for a long time. So there's some competition here. So you can plot these on a map and see how much they're making, how long they've been in business, how many people they're employing, and what their expenditures are. No matter what your business is, you can do this on the map and see what they are doing and how well they're doing. And I've got just a brief time. I will spend it just talking about the second business database called Scott's database. It's accessible from the same link, Research and Learn, then Business and Career. The Scott's database has got just over 500,000 companies. They are not the small businesses that you will find in Canadian Business Directory we just saw. This directory is valuable for those who are interested in establishing an industrial or manufacturing business. And if you do have those aspirations, check Scott's. I always ask people, check both directories. You have two current business databases on a national scale, use them. But for the smaller business person operating for the first time, a company with maybe just one employee, yourself, or two, check with Canadian Business Online first. Use Scott's as well, and use it especially if your business has industrial or manufacturing aspirations. You can search for businesses here. This time, you will not search business type, use product service, and then alphabetical listing. And you can search for your business type under alphabetical listing and search by whatever letter it begins with. I'll do a comparison search for F under F for florist. And I'm just waiting for this to flip over from A to F. Here we go. And this directory does not let you type anything. You must make a selection from a very descriptive list. Very descriptive lists. So if I look for florists, florist retail, select, it'll pop over here in a second. And once it does, I'll search. Now we had over 6,000 all across Canada. This one we have barely 1,800. If I search by city and choose Mississauga, I won't get that many because this database only concentrates on the larger companies, especially the larger services, and waiting for the Mississauga city to pop up. And I get 29. 29. There's Charisma, okay. There's Charisma, good, they're in there. Exactly 14 employees. They had 810,000 last the other directory. This is 1 to 5 million. I'd say compared to the other directory, they're in the low million. I wouldn't go so far as to say 5 million. Company name, address, and that's all you get. You don't get the detail you did in the other directory. Keep that in mind. You won't get expenditures, nearby businesses, or competitors. So those are the two main directories. You can reach me, and my link or my email will be in the chat. I can type that, or Sue will include it in the chat. If anyone in the program wants to get back to me about using these databases, I'm happy to share more information. I've given tutorials that are an hour long on each directory, so there's so much more, and Sue has so much more to say. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to introduce you to the library resources, and I will stop sharing content now. And if you want, yeah, you're welcome.
There is a question, and I don't know if you want to answer this or not. What if you don't have an employee? Does it make any difference?
If you don't have an employee, then you're doing everything. Okay, so you're if it doesn't what I think it most would depend on what your business is. If your business is something like a carpet cleaner, and you'll be doing everything. You'll be answering the phones, booking the appointments, and going out. I had my windows cleaned last year for the first time in a long time, and I just went to uh, looked up window cleaners and Google reviews, and the person I hired was a young guy about half my age who came over with this jet pack of with these brushes and looked like he was going to take off into space like James Bond. But he did my windows and he was fabulous. So um, it will depend on your business. Some people like to work alone. If you're a crafter, maybe you don't want people doing your business or your crafts. Maybe you just want to have establish your own self. If you're doing a business such as maybe cooking, maybe you wouldn't mind sharing a recipe and doing making fabulous muffins or cookies with someone. I don't know. I think it will depend entirely on the business. If an employee is, you might just find that you're overwhelmed by your success and you have to hire people.
And
Then you have,
and it's true. It's like businesses are come in all shapes and sizes, whether it's one employee or, in fact, if you are starting a small business, we count the entrepreneur as an employee of the company. So the statistics are the same. It's just that if you're a smaller business, you might be looking for different things when you're doing your market research. And hopefully you hope to grow. So thank you, Craig. That was great. And as always, if you are looking for any more information or help with any of these databases, you can just call the library. They will guide you through it. And you also provide workshops, don't you, Craig, on in-depth workshops on using the databases at the library? Do you still offer that?
we do. You have now that we've not had any even in the COVID time to register as a program, what we're doing now via WebEx. But programs are now back we're doing March break programs. More people are being allowed into the library. We've put furniture back in that was in storage for a long time, for 2 years. So if we are optimistic that we'll be offering so much more programming in person as well as WebEx. And I used to do these at the Central Library on a monthly basis with job hunting resources, do programs with Sue and with MBEC, and do things like youth interviewing, all these kinds of programs, including the database searches. I would do that once a month. And there was a program just offered yesterday on the first, it was the first Monday of the month, wasn't it? Yesterday. Yeah, the latest it could ever be. And that was when it was. I in fact did not do that program, but that program is offered once a month. And so it's called Job Hunting Resources. We cover a lot of things in that program, including databases that we just did now, but the databases are not the sole focus, because I can talk about these databases like an hour each, which I've done in the past. But sign up for the library program, Job Hunting Resources. You can
Okay,
do that on our website. Just click on their website and click under programs. So
great.
I'll bow out now and give the stage back to Sue and her rest of the program.
Okay, thanks, Craig. Take
Bye-bye,
care.
everybody.
Bye. So, what is the Summer Company Program? The Summer Company Program is funded by the province of Ontario. It is delivered by the Small Business Enterprise Centres across Ontario, similar to Mississauga Business Entrepreneur Centre and the Brampton Entrepreneur Centre. Small Business Enterprise Centres are part of the province's Ontario network of entrepreneurs. The Mississauga Business Entrepreneurs Centre delivers the program for businesses based in Mississauga. And Brampton, they deliver the program for any business that's based in Brampton, and they also include Caledon. So since 2001, over 9,400 students in Ontario have started a business through the Summer Company Program. And out of those 9,400, 197 are in Mississauga and 235 in Brampton, for a total of 432 in the Peel region. The program is also offered in other municipalities and regions in Ontario. So if you're interested in the program and you're not located in Mississauga, Brampton area, you should apply to the Small Business Enterprise Center in your local municipality or region. There are actually 3 entrepreneur centers in Toronto. There's one in Oakville, there's one in Milton, and of course, there's one in Halton as well. So overall, the main goal of this program is to inspire youth to consider entrepreneurship as a viable career option and to create jobs for themselves during the summer. The program helps students 15 to 29 years of age in Ontario start a small business, learn transferable business skills, make money, and become job creators. The Summer Company program provides free training and one-on-one group mentorship with our business professionals. The program sessions and meetings in Mississauga and Brampton will run from May to August 2022, approximately 8 to 12 weeks once the selections of the participants are made. At this point, I can't confirm the number of spaces we have available for the program, but I still encourage you to apply. You should apply to the Summer Company program in your area, just a reminder. If for any reason you do apply to the wrong center, your application will be transferred to the correct center. So what are the program phases? There are actually 4. In Mississauga and Brampton, the Summer Company program will be delivered in 4 stages. Phase 1 is the eligibility checklist. Phase 2 is the application process, which includes your business plan, financials, and participant selections. Phase 3 is training and mentorship. And finally, Phase 4 is the completion of the program and the exit interview. Now I'll explain how each of these phases works. So first of all, you need to determine whether you are actually eligible for the Summer Company program. There are certain requirements, and first off, you need to be a resident of Ontario. You need to be 15 to 29 years of age as of April 30th. Sorry, that should say 2022. Be a Canadian citizen or permanent resident of Canada. Need to be attending high school, college, university, and returning to school in the fall of 2022 after the program ends. You need to propose to start a new business, and you need to prepare to attend scheduled mandatory training, mentoring, and networking sessions. You must not be working at another job or attending school for more than 12 hours per week during the term of the project. And you have to be able to work over the summer period. So for high school students, that's a minimum of 280 hours and a minimum of 420 hours if you're post-secondary. And you cannot have received funding for the Summer Company program in the past. You need to have adequate technology to participate in the program because this entire program will be delivered virtually. You should have an adequate computer system, technology. Some applications that you would need as a minimum would be Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and internet to participate in the virtual program and to attend virtual meetings and sessions and completion of program assignments. If you're using a Mac, you still need to use these applications when saving and opening documents. You will also need a webcam, video camera, and it is highly recommended that you have a headset with a microphone and a quiet place to attend program sessions to minimize any background noises or distractions. Please note that a camera is needed for your participation in the program interview, the program training and mentor sessions, and all other related sessions and meetings. Now, for the eligibility criteria for the business. To be eligible, a business or proposed business must be a new business, so it cannot have been previously registered or operated on an ongoing business. You need to be operating as a sole proprietor or a corporation where the applicant will be the majority shareholder. It needs to be an independent business venture. You need to operate at arm's length from family business ventures. Your business cannot rely solely on commission sales. It cannot be a multi-level marketing business, for example, Avon, and not be a not-for-profit organization. Your business also must operate full-time, and we define full-time as a minimum of 35 hours per week. You must maintain your own books and records. You must have a master business license or articles of incorporation and plan to register the business. You need to maintain a separate bank account and follow all government rules, regulations, and applicable bylaws. You also need to demonstrate that you have a viable and sales-ready business plan at the time of the application. It's a summer program, so we can't have businesses that will take a lot longer to launch, basically, is what that's saying. You must demonstrate that the business can operate and follow all government health and safety guidelines relating to the impacts of COVID-19. Priority will be given to new businesses in Mississauga or Brampton area that are sales ready, and you must demonstrate that the business can operate again and follow all the guidelines for COVID-19. Space is limited for all service providers delivering the program. And as mentioned earlier, we will give priority to businesses located in Mississauga. If you're interested in applying to the program, you will have to check and register your eligibility on the Summer Company provincial website and web portal, and we call this screen. There are a series of questions that you need to answer to check your eligibility. After you've completed all the questions, and once you click on Check My Eligibility, it will let you know if you're eligible to apply to the program. How to apply. So now you've learned about the Summer Company program, the benefits, the requirements of the program. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you ready to apply? To answer this question, you will need to determine three main things. First of all, you have to make sure you're eligible, so you have to go through that eligibility criteria provided in screen. Next, you have to have a viable new business idea that's sales ready, that can be launched and operated during the summer. Sales ready simply means that your business is ready to make money and ready to open up. And you need to follow all the health and safety guidelines relating to COVID-19. So for example, if your business requires you to meet clients, you will be required to wear a mask and practice social distancing. If you've answered yes to all these questions, you are most likely eligible to the program. After you've confirmed your eligibility, the first step is applying to the program and completing the application inquiry, which you will have access to after you successfully pass the eligibility criteria. You will be asked to complete your information and to select the service provider you would like to apply to. Once you select and submit your application inquiry, the service provider, i.e. in my case, Mississauga, will respond and acknowledge your inquiry and provide you with further information about the application process. Oops, did I go too far? No, I think I'm okay. Once you're ready to submit your application to the program after completing the application inquiry, we will email you the business plan template to use and the information for your submission. Your application will need to include a business plan, a startup budget, and a cash flow forecast. Your cash flow forecast is actually completed in screen. Your business plan needs to include details about your business plan. For example, what do you plan to call your business? The executive summary, which is basically a summary of the business plan, and it's something that's usually written after you've completed your business plan. Your product service information, I need to know what you're planning to sell, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, and just a full description. And will you make or purchase your products? Who is going to be your supplier? So Craig provided you access to databases, so this would help you find suppliers. What makes your product or service unique? How is your business different from others in the industry? And what features and advantages will entice your customers to buy for you? Example, it might be that your product is very convenient, you're in the neighborhood, you're offering competitive pricing, you have very quick service, you offer a guarantee. We also want to know what advantages you have over the competition. So for example, you may have a lower startup cost, so you may offer a lower price. The marketing plan is very important as well. We need to know how you're going to promote your business and to what target group and who are your competitors. Need to know a lot about your customers. What are the characteristics and how would you define your ideal customer? What is their approximate income level? How many are there in your target area? Cost and pricing, really important. What are you going to charge for your product or service? And we also want an estimate of sales. So this is how many units you plan to sell or how many hours you plan to, billable hours you plan to work in a week. How do you plan to advertise your product? For example, direct mail, internet, social media, and maybe you're just going to be old-fashioned traditional and go door to door. How much are all these things going to cost? Operations is important as well. What do you need to operate your business? Do you need a permit or a license? Do you need suppliers? Are you hiring employees? All of these things need to be taken into consideration. Applicants must also evaluate where things could go wrong with their business and identify contingencies they've put in place. You need to comply with workplace safety standards if you're hiring employees. And just so you know, most of our summer company students do not hire employees. Most of them are solopreneurs. If applicable, let's say you're working with hazardous substances, maybe you're operating a cleaning business, you would need to identify hazards and safe practices to follow. If there is a significant risk in your business, so for example, we've had grass cutters in the past and landscapers, we strongly suggest that they obtain appropriate business insurance. So your startup budget requires you to list all of the things you need to start your business. So it's a good idea to research these costs to make sure your figures are as accurate as possible. So you know your startup budget should be a minimum of $1,500 because this is the initial disbursement you will receive if you are accepted into the summer company program. Now you can spend more than $1,500, that's fine, but just remember when you go into the cash flow, you will need to put in that amount that you plan to contribute. So if you're spending $2,000 for your startup, the summer company program will provide you with $1,500 up front and you would need to contribute $500. Once you complete the program, you would receive an additional $1,500, usually by the first or second week of September. So the cash flow forecast is really important because you need to forecast exactly what you think you're going to make. And you're also forecasting your expenses from May to August if you're college, university, and for high school June to August, and for high school it's actually July and August. So the program duration is a little different depending on where you're coming from. So please note that applications are reviewed on a first-come basis. So we encourage you to apply as early as possible to be considered into the program. And so you know, our application deadline is Monday, April 25th at 5 p.m. I have noticed some questions coming in and I'm going to answer these at the end of the presentation. Business idea. Is your business idea doable, feasible to start and operate in the summer? Do you have the resources, the characteristics, the qualifications, and support to launch your business? And is there market demand for your business idea? So these are three things that you need to discuss in your application. Overall, the following is what we're looking for. We want to make sure that there's actually a market for your product and that it can be fully launched because you really don't have a lot of time. Are the applicant's goals for the business realistic and achievable? Do you have a business plan, a startup budget, a cash flow forecast that demonstrates that this business is market ready and that you're going to be able to follow health and safety guidelines? So if you are selected, you will be contacted for a virtual interview. All candidates will be contacted if they have or have not been accepted into the program. Your application does not guarantee acceptance into the program or the program grant. Selected participants will be notified and will be required to sign a microfinancing agreement, which will outline your obligations and expectations to participate in the program. Students under 18 years of age will require a parent or guardian to sign the agreement. And once the agreement is signed, the participant will then receive the first disbursement of the grant in the amount of $1,500 for their startup expenses. Participants will be required to spend their first disbursement, $1,500, in 30 days of receiving their grant. And you have to match this with what you plan to spend in your startup budget. Each participant will need to collect their receipts and present them to their program provider after 30 days. Virtual site visits will also be conducted to just see how you're doing. Next is your training and mentorship. So mandatory training sessions are scheduled. The training will be delivered through WebEx. Homework and assignments will also be provided for participants throughout the program. Mentorship will include one-on-one or group mentorship, again, delivered through WebEx. We have access to local professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners, and they are here to support you with the launch and development of your business in the areas of marketing, digital marketing, social media, sales, customer service, and operations. Lastly, the program completion and exit. This is the final phase of the program, and I will complete an exit interview. There'll also be a final budget reconciliation and some other documentation. The final grant disbursement will then be received sometime in September. At program completion, there will also be an opportunity for you to celebrate. At this point, I'm going to have some sort of networking event. I don't have an update on that exactly at this point. So I'm just sharing this picture. This is some of our summer company students from previous years. We had a young lady making flavored teas. Two young ladies that were offering henna lessons and also at special events. We had an air plant lady making air plant creations. The only problem here was she sold out her first week and couldn't get supplies. We had snowboard graphics and a website designer and guitar lessons. So just some ideas for you. For International Youth Day in August, the City of Mississauga featured the Summer Company Program students on our social channels with this post to acknowledge their hard work and success in entrepreneurship. So today, I'm happy to say, we have two of our Summer Company students from last year. We have Anna Glavick from Anna's Craft Shop and Justin Dulat from Justin's Piano Studio. Each of our students will introduce themselves and give a description of their business and their experience with the Summer Company program. You will then have an opportunity to ask them questions. So I'm going to start with Anna.
Hello, so my name is Anna and I opened my own small business through the Summer Company program in May of 2021. So I'll give a brief description of what I do and what my business is all about. So my business, as Susan mentioned, is called Anna's Craft Shop, and I make handmade 3D pop-up greeting cards for various occasions. So this includes birthdays, Mother's Days, holidays, etc. And all of my cards can be customizable. So one part of my business goes to my e-commerce site where I sell ready-made products, and the other part of my business is doing custom orders for client special events and occasions, and those are usually done in bulk orders. I personally am very grateful that I had the opportunity to open my business through the Summer Company program because it gave me the opportunity to learn all the fundamentals of running a successful business. So things like making a business plan, making a cash flow statement, writing an elevator pitch, learning about financial management, bookkeeping, marketing, sales, how to do a sales pitch, networking, and just other entrepreneurial skills that are very, very helpful to know and to have when you're running a small business, especially if it's your first business. So, for me personally, the aspects of this program that I found very useful were the weekly training sessions, as Susan mentioned, the one-on-one session with an accountant where I got some of my questions about filing taxes answered, and finally the one-on-one mentorship sessions with my mentor where I got guidance for certain parts of my business that I personally needed help with. And so this was a really great time to discuss any of the problems I was encountering with my mentor, get some support, get some ideas for how to run my business more efficiently and successfully. So those were really, really helpful. Overall, I would say that this program is really great because it gives you the guidance that you need to start your business. There is always someone there to point you in the right direction, and you receive lots of encouragement and support for your new business.
Okay, thank you, Anna. And we're going to have Justin do his introduction, and then afterwards we're just going to open the floor up. If there's any questions, please put them in the chat now. And of course, if there's questions for me, I will answer those afterwards. So Justin from Justin's Piano Studio, go ahead. You ready? There he is. Are you unmuted, Justin? Because I don't know if you're speaking or not. While he's trying to figure that out, I just want to let everyone know that Anna actually designed a card for City of Mississauga. You can see it in the picture. We're very excited about that. And she also designed a card for our new innovation hub called IDEA. So we're pretty excited about that. So Justin, have you figured out? If not, is there any questions for for Anna while Justin's trying to figure out? Mona, are there any questions in the chat for Anna, or they can even be questions for me while we're waiting for Justin to figure out? Oh, there he is. Okay, great. All right. All right, Justin, go ahead. I heard you.
Oh, okay.
There you are. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So my business is teaching piano. So I just take students either into my house or online. And I teach them piano usually for like 30 minutes, but I can do up to an hour. Um, I teach them like music theory and like just how to play and like the notes and all that stuff. Um, uh, when I first went to summer company, uh, there were like a lot of opportunities to get like mentorship and stuff like that because there were like weekly meetings. There was also like mentorship sessions that you would go to. So they would help me on how to like market my business or like just give me advice on stuff. Uh, so one of the things at the beginning, like I wasn't getting a lot of students. Then like I started expanding and like uh, posting ads on like different sites like Facebook and Kijiji. And then, yeah, I got more students. But yeah, the mentorship sessions were a really helpful part of the summer company.
Okay, good. So are there any specific questions for the panel or any questions for me, Mona? I guess we can start while people get a chance to type their questions in.
For sure. Have we answered all of the questions in the chat at the moment?
So there aren't any questions in the chat?
There are quite a few. I'm just not sure. Did we answer all of them?
Good. Go ahead and then people can put in their questions for Anna and Justin while I'm answering those questions if they have any.
So someone would like to know, is there a link to the eligibility criteria page?
Yeah, so that it's basically if you go to our website and Mona can put the link in for our website, you will see the information for the summer company program, and then it will redirect you to the summer company provinces program, and then you can go in and it will have the eligibility. Now I do know there were some issues with the website in the last couple of days, so please be patient. I would wait a couple of days. And for anyone who wants answers to questions, it would be me that you would contact. It's just susan.loveless@mississauga.ca. You can directly ask me any questions. Mona's posted the website as well.
Okay, awesome. So the next question, does a business have to be started before we join the program?
No, the business is not to be started. So that is the rule of the program, that you should not have registered or started your business. You want to apply to the program, and if you're accepted, that's when you would need to start your business.
Okay, can you submit more than one application if you have multiple ideas?
Yes, you can, but only one will be accepted. And we've had that happen where people have, a couple of different ideas, and, we go through both applications and we find one is stronger, and then we accept that one.
Okay. And someone said that I believe you mentioned this program is available on a first come, first served basis. So once the grants are all allocated, will there be a notification on the website?
Well, how we normally work it, when I say first come, first served basis, I basically want people to apply as soon as possible because that gives me time to review the applications. But I will accept applications up until the deadline, which is April 25th. And everyone has an opportunity. Even if you apply April 25th before 5 p.m., the people chosen are the strongest applications.
Okay. And will this presentation deck be available via email?
The deck isn't available, but the session is recorded, and it should be up on our website maybe next week sometime, Mona. I think that's a reasonable time.
Yeah, and then we can definitely email out this recording to everyone in the session.
Yeah. And just
Okay.
so I'm also going to mention that we do have another program called Starter Company Plus, as you can see down below. Starter Company Plus is the next program that you students could apply for if you're over 18 and not in school. We have a $5,000 grant for businesses, and this can be a startup or an existing business. So if you know anyone who's interested in that program will be opening up for applications in August. Yes, Yara's question, that's how it works. So the $1,500 comes up front, and yes, you can use that $1,500. It's $60 to register your business. Of course, you can use that to use the grant money to pay for that. And we normally recommend that you do a name search as well, which is $8. So, but yeah, that money, that $1,500 is for your startup. So that's why your budget should be a minimum of $1,500, because you need to spend the $1,500 within 30 days if you're successful. So any questions for Anna or Justin about their experience in the summer company program?
None at the moment, but someone is asking if who do we contact with questions? So I'm just putting Susan's email into the
That would be
chat.
me. Yeah.
Feel free to contact her.
I've run this program for a number of years, so if you have any questions about that. And some of the examples of businesses, actually, some of this year's, obviously we had Anna in her craft shop and Justin with piano lessons. We also had 2 landscapers, mainly grass cutters. We had a painter. We had a website designer and digital marketing consultant. So those are just to name a few. Oh, we also had what Craig was talking about, someone selling on Etsy. So selling women's accessories as well. And Anna, have you tried selling anything on Etsy? Like, you use other websites to sell things?
Yeah, so I use Squarespace for my website. That's the platform I use to get my website running up. I tried using Etsy, but there was a problem with my account, and I'm getting that solved right now. So I do want to start selling on Etsy, though. Yeah.
Okay. And the nice thing about Anna and Justin is they're both still in school, and you don't just run your business over. I mean, obviously you need to run your business over the summer for this program, but you can continue to run the program run your business the entire year, which we find about 80%, 70-80% of our students continue on past the summer. So it's pretty exciting. And Justin, what do you do for marketing? How do you get students?
I just posted ads on Kijiji with like my phone number and email and all that stuff, and I just wait for them to respond. You can also like pay for like the top ad as well, so more people will see it. Also, another good way to get students is just to tell all of your friends and family, because the word of mouth spreads pretty quickly, and then if anyone needs lessons, then you'll just be referred to.
And didn't you put a sign out front of your house too when I went to
Oh
visit
yeah,
you? I was able to
that as
visit
well.
Justin, and he had a sign out front. But right, word of mouth is amazing, but sometimes you need to, tell your clients, hey, I'm looking for new business, so please, promote for me. And you could even give them some sort of discount if you get a referral. So that's a really good way to market. Any more questions, Mona?
Yes, so someone's asking, do you have any recommendations for credit card processing? Something like Square?
Now, what did Anna for credit card? Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I personally used Square. I really like that they had a plan where it's $0 a month
Oh,
to run my website. Um, I was initially looking at Shopify, but their monthly rate is quite high for me. Um, the only, I guess, downside to the $0 a month plan is that you don't have, it's like you have your website dot square dot site, I believe. I think you can pay $15 and get your own like full domain. I really like Square. It's really easy to use, so I would definitely recommend it.
okay, cool.
And next question, are there any limitations on how the minimum of 280 hours must be spent?
Okay, so you're talking about the working hours. So I think they're maybe confusing that with money. I don't know. So it's 280 hours that you need to work. Maybe they're talking about averages, but it has to be 35 hours a week or average out to 35 hours. So we have had this happen where a student gets sick or, taking a long weekend. It's not a problem as long as you make those hours up in the following week. And working hours, yeah, it includes some mentorship hours as well. Anything to do with the business. So for example, a typical week. So the weekly reports are sent. Anna and Justin would provide me with their hours. So if Anna's designing cards for 10 hours a week, making cards for 10 hours a week, contacting clients. Same with Justin. Justin would be teaching piano lessons, but he would also be doing marketing, working on his Kijiji ads. So all of this time, and you include travel as well. So it just has to add up to that average of 35 hours per week.
Okay, I guess that's it for questions in the chat.
Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Susan. I feel like I might know Susan. And Anna and Justin, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming here and sharing. I think it helps the students sort of understand how the program works. And was it really hard? Tell me, Anna and Justin, tell me. Was it really hard filling out that application?
No,
No.
no.
Justin, was it hard?
No, it was pretty easy.
Thank you. So it looks like there's a lot because I have this long presentation, but I want you to know it's not that difficult. And I help you all the way. So thank you so much. And we're going to move on to the next slide, which is just finishing up. So this is the end of the presentation. And to wrap up, if you're interested in applying to Summer Company, please complete the eligibility checklist first. Submit your application inquiry to the Enterprise Center that you are closest to. And in my case, as soon as you do that, I will reach out to you in probably the next day or 2 days later and provide you with all the information you need to apply. Once you get the information from me, you'll have a business plan template that you can fill out. You'll have your startup budget, which is part of your business plan with the minimum $1,500. And then the cash flow forecast, you just go into screen. And I believe Anna and Justin didn't have too much trouble navigating screen. You just go in, put the numbers in, right, Anna?
Yeah, everything was super easy.
Yeah, not too difficult. And if you have any problem, I'm happy to help. Remember, the application deadline is Monday, April 25th at 5 p.m. Application submissions will not be accepted after this date, and we highly encourage you to apply early if you're interested in the program. It is a competitive process and there are limited spaces available. So for more information, I believe Mona has shared this in the chat, but you can go to our website, and also obviously you can go to the Brampton website. So thank you for attending, and if there are no more questions, I am going to ask
We do have
Mona.
one last minute question.
Sure.
So they're just asking, can you do a virtual business like a drop shipping business?
You can do anything like that. Yep, virtual. Just provide some details. Like, and I would probably need to know, like, are you making the product? Because we don't like businesses that totally rely on commission. But whatever your idea is, if you just want to pass it by me, if you just want to send me an email, I'd be happy to respond.
And someone else would just like to see the last slide again.
This one with the contact information, mississauga.ca/MBEC. Maybe that was the one they were looking for. Or was it this one?
Yes, that one was the contact information.
Okay. Yeah, and so the eligibility checklist, just so you know, this is very basic. I mean, you have to be a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. You have to be attending school and returning to school in the fall. And you have to be 15 years of age by the time of your application. And you can't be, and it's 15 to 29, so obviously you can't be over 29. And that's really it. It's not a long laundry list of eligibility.
And then someone else just wants some more clarification on the question. Do you have to have a business started before joining the program?
No, you do not. We do not want you to have the business started. So this program is for startups. The starter company program that I mentioned earlier can be a startup or an existing business, but for this business, we want you to come in, you haven't started your business, and then you register your business. So it has to be
And
new.
then what if someone is not a Canadian citizen but lives in Ontario? Is it eligibility for, are they eligible to apply for the program?
Only if they're a permanent resident, if they're not a Canadian citizen. Yeah, that's a requirement of the program. And it would have to be by the time they applied to the program. Okay. And if there's any other questions that are missed, you didn't type fast enough, you have my email. Just send me an email. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And if you're looking for suggestions, you can go onto the Summer Company, go online to Summer Company, and they have all the success stories on there of all the different businesses that have operated. So that might give you some ideas. But I think what's important is that you do something you enjoy. So Anna, obviously very creative, and I'm sure, have you always been creative, Anna, like from the time you were a little girl, or did this happen later in life?
Arts and crafts were always kind of my thing, so
okay,
it was kind of a
arts
natural,
and crafts. So you can take a
growth.
hobby and make it something. And the same, and with Justin, I mean, how long have you been playing piano, Justin, since you were how old? I think you started
6.5.
And what happened in school when they had, was it show and tell day, or what do you want to be when you grow up? Tell me that story.
Oh yeah, it was in a grade 2. It said, "What did you want to be when you grow up?" And yeah, I wrote piano teacher on the whiteboard.
See, there you go. So Justin is wanted to be a piano teacher from a very early age. So so it really should be something that you're passionate about, that you're excited about, because this is an opportunity. And I'll tell you, it looks amazing on a resume. I mean, I just did a reference for Anna, I think it was yesterday, and that was one of the things she had on her resume, and that she ran a summer company. And, you know, it's great to have those experiences because it shows a lot. You have to be determined, you have to be willing to take risk, you have to be independent, and then you learn all these amazing transferable skills that you can use in the workplace. So great opportunity. So I hope you apply. And again, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Be happy to answer them. So how are we doing for time? We're good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mona. As always, amazing. And Justin and Anna, thank you for attending. And to everyone else, have a great evening.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.